You know, for as long as we've looked up at the stars, there's been this one unbreakable rule. It's like the foundation of our entire reality. I'm talking, of course, about the speed of light, the universe's ultimate speed limit.
And I mean, this isn't just a suggestion, right? It's a fundamental law of physics, woven into the very fabric of the universe. For anything with mass, you, me, a spaceship, we just can't break it. It's a wall. But what if we could? What if we found a loophole? A way to just step past that wall? We're not just talking about zipping across space anymore. We're talking about, well, moving through time itself. Okay, so to even think about breaking this rule, we've got to understand why it's there in the first place. And for that, yeah, you guessed it. We have to talk about Albert Einstein.
So his theory of special relativity, it's pretty clear on this. Imagine you're pushing something. The faster it goes, the heavier it effectively gets. So as you get closer and closer to the speed of light, you need more and more energy to push it just a little bit faster. Until, right at light speed, the energy you'd need is, well, infinite. It's basically the universe putting its foot down and saying, nope, not happening.
But what if we're thinking about this all wrong? What if the trick isn't to smash through the wall, but to, I don't know, find a door? See, the most mind-bending ideas about faster-than-light travel, they're not really about raw speed. It's all about bending the rules, literally, bending the geometry of space.
And this is where it gets really cool. A physicist named Miguel Alcubierre came up with this concept of a warp bubble. Now get this, the ship inside the bubble isn't actually moving through space at all. It's just sitting there, completely still, inside its own little pocket of reality. The space around it is what's moving.
So how does that work? It's honestly incredible. Think about a surfer on a wave. The surfer isn't swimming faster than the ocean, right? They're just riding a wave that's already moving. The Alcubierre drive is kind of like that, but for the entire universe. It would basically squeeze spacetime in front of the ship and stretch it out behind, creating this wave of spacetime that carries the ship along for the ride. And that wave can travel faster than light, even if the ship inside doesn't.
So let's just imagine for a second we've figured this out. What would that even look like for humanity? Honestly, the implications are staggering, almost impossible to wrap your head around. The entire universe would, for all intents and purposes, shrink. Distance itself would just stop being a thing. Okay, to put that in perspective, our closest stellar neighbor, Proxima Centauri, it's over 4 light years away. That means it takes light itself 4 years to get there. With a warp drive, that trip could take a few seconds. Just think about that. The stars would go from being these faraway twinkles to being, well, weekend destinations. We could become a truly galactic civilization. Humanity could spread out across the entire Milky Way, setting up colonies on who knows how many worlds. And with communication that's basically instant, space wouldn't be an obstacle anymore. It would just be there. Whatever we wanted to do, we could do. But, and this is a huge but, all of that incredible power comes with a really, really terrifying price tag. Because the second you go faster than light, you're not just breaking a rule about speed. No, you're breaking something much more fundamental. You're breaking time itself. Yeah, this is the core of the problem right here. In our universe, things happen in a certain order. Cause, then effect. I drop a glass, then it shatters. But with faster than light travel, that whole relationship just shatters. You could literally arrive at your destination before you even left. You could send a message back in time. The past stops being this fixed thing and becomes, well, editable. This whole paradox thing is so dangerous, so fundamental, that the great Stephen Hawking actually came up with an idea called the chronology protection conjecture. Basically, he thought that the laws of physics themselves might have a built-in safety mechanism to stop time travel paradoxes from ever happening. It's almost like the universe has a self-preservation instinct, and it won't let us break it. But okay, let's put the physics and the paradoxes aside for a minute. Let's get personal. What if you were on that ship? What would you actually see? What would it even feel like to move faster than light?
Honestly, it would be horrifying. Absolutely incomprehensible. Because of something called the Doppler effect, but on an insane scale, all the starlight in front of you would get compressed and blue-shifted into one single blindingly bright point, a wall of white-hot, deadly gamma radiation.
And what about the view out the back window? The exact opposite. All the light from the stars you're leaving behind would get stretched out. So stretched that you couldn't see it anymore. It would just be nothing. Absolute, total darkness. So you're flying between a wall of pure energy and an infinite void.
At that kind of speed, time as we know it would just cease to exist for you. You'd be outside its flow. You might be able to see the Big Bang and the end of the universe, not as things that happened or will happen, but as places on a map, all visible at the same time. The entire history of everything crammed into one single overwhelming moment.
I mean, think about it. Our entire existence is built on the forward march of time. Seconds, minutes, hours. That experience would completely shatter that foundation. Past and future, what you remember and what you expect, it would all just blur together. Our brains, our very consciousness might just not be built to handle that. And that really brings us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. If we ever figured out how to do this, should we? It's not just another scientific breakthrough. It would be the ultimate test of humanity's wisdom.
Because the power to go anywhere instantly is also the power to change anything. The temptation would be overwhelming, wouldn't it? To go back and fix our mistakes, to erase pain and suffering, to rewrite history. But think about that. If you can just undo anything, if there are no real consequences, does anything we do actually matter anymore? Does life itself lose its meaning?
So maybe in the end, the speed of light isn't a prison keeping us trapped. Maybe it's a mirror, one that reflects our own limitations back at us. Not just our physical limits, but our moral ones, our philosophical ones. To break that barrier would mean becoming something like gods. And in the process, we might just risk erasing everything that makes us human in the first place.